I'm Sharon from Blue Moon Gardens.
And I am Mary from Blue Moon Gardens.
And we are here this afternoon on this hot, hot afternoon. It's April and it's 86 this afternoon. And it's supposed to be 88 tomorrow afternoon. So we're having the most weird weather because last week when we talked to you, it was 40-something degrees.
And here it is in the 80s and hot, hot. Oh boy.
Yeah, we're kind of wilted, so
Yes.
sorry. But anyway, we're going to talk about mosquito plants today because it's the time of year when everybody's hanging around and you can go out in your patio and relax and do what you do, but it's also mosquito time of year and they are out. I've been bitten already.
I have too.
You know, they're not terrible yet, but they're coming. So we thought we'd talk about all the things that can repel mosquitoes. So you can plant these things in the ground or in pots, you know, around where you're hanging out, and they will help. So it's a good thing. So we're going to start with lemongrass.
Yeah, most of the lemon herbs repel mosquitoes. Some of them seem to do a little better than others, but all the lemon herbs do really well. So this is lemongrass, and citronella, which is a tropical grass, is related to this, but it doesn't grow very well here. This is a winter hardy grass here, so it makes a fairly nice looking ornamental grass. Doesn't bloom, you don't want it to bloom, but you know, it gets about 3 feet tall and it's got great structure. Asians use this a lot in cooking. They use the bottom base of this stem. We use usually the leaves because we like to make tea out of it. Makes a great, really refreshing tea.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have lemon balm, which is a very winter hardy plant here.
Yeah.
Very long lived.
Very. And this is one of the few herbs that will grow in quite a bit of shade. So if you want to put it on your porch, this would be a good one to try because all the rest of these need quite a bit of sun to do very well.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of related to mint. It's not as aggressive as mint, but
Right.
Nice. Okay, and then we have real mint.
Yeah, this is peppermint. So all mints come from either spearmint or peppermint. This is peppermint here. You can tell it's got darker stems and pointy leaves and really sharp flavor. You know, just like peppermint, just like you'd think it would be. So this is really good for your digestion too. It's supposed to help you digest food and help you with upset stomach. So if you want to make tea out of this, it makes a really refreshing tea. Also, peppermint is a natural stimulant, the scent of it. So when I used to drive the truck and I'd get really tired, I would get a York peppermint patty, strictly medicinally. Yeah, so I could have
That's hilarious.
I'd say, oh, it's gonna wake me up.
That
So
is funny.
yeah, so peppermint is good for that. Did you say grow it in its own pot? Did we
Yeah,
talk
no,
about
we
that?
didn't, but you should grow it either in its own flower bed by itself or its own pot because it's very aggressive in the way that it grows. And if you try to dig it up, any little root piece that you leave just sprouts another plant. So it's like you can never get rid of it. So, you know, make a special spot or put it in a pot, and that works fine. Or a hanging basket.
Yeah, they make a very attractive hanging basket.
Yeah.
But you have to water a lot here in Texas if it's in a hanging basket.
And it doesn't really have to have full sun. It could have part sun.
That's true.
Which is
Mints don't have to have
nice.
full sun.
Thyme, lemon thyme.
Yeah, lemon thyme. This is a really nice thyme. I use this a lot in fish. It's also good in chicken. And in soups too, if you want to just have a little citrusy flavor. There is a lemon thyme that is variegated. It has golden leaves, and it really doesn't do very well in our climate. It doesn't like the humidity, and it just rots and goes away. This solid green leaf lemon thyme is nice and strong, and it holds up very well here. So that's the one to try.
Yeah, love all these.
Yeah.
Scents.
You notice Sharon's petting all her plants. It makes them release their essential oils, and you can get all the fragrance, which is actually a good way to make them work for you too. Is while you're sitting outside, brush by your plants, and it releases the essential oils, and that will help with your mosquito repelling properties.
So this is catnip.
Yeah, a lot of you know this as a cat attracting plant, and our cat Hank, our big old fat cat Hank, is, we call him a niphead because he is just crazy for catnip. We keep a pot just for him back in the greenhouse, and every morning he wanders back there and you know, nibbles on it a little bit, and then he has to come up and take a nap for a little while. But yeah, he's just crazy about it. It makes a nice tea, and it's a very attractive plant. It grows upright and it smells minty. It's very nice.
Yeah. So lemon verbena is another lemony one that we have.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite scented herb. It smells and tastes like lemon drop candy. It is just wonderful. It's very sharp flavor. It's really wonderful. It's not a very attractive plant. It's kind of
stringy looking.
Yeah. But it's definitely worth growing. I like to make scented or flavored simple syrup with this. So I boil water and sugar and dissolve it, and then I take it off the heat and throw in some of these leaves, you know, stems about 6 inches long, and let it steep for about 10 minutes and then strain it. And it is so good in tea and poured over ice cream and fruit salad. Yeah, it's just really tasty.
And we have used a lot of these lemons, that, like even the thyme and this and the lemon balm in
cakes and cookies.
Yeah, cakes.
Yeah.
Sweet things that you wouldn't think that you would put some, like thyme. You wouldn't think you'd put thyme in a sweet, but it was really good. Yeah.
It is
so
good.
Anyway, experiment. If you got them around, you gotta, you know.
That's right.
You gotta prune them occasionally. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm always amazed when people come out and they say, "Oh, I grow herbs, but I never use them." And I think, "Oh, that's such a shame because there's so many great things you can do with them." If you want ideas, come out and we'll talk to you about it. This is lemon basil, and this is just a small leaf lemon basil, and I really like a big leafed one called Mrs. Burns lemon. It seems to do a little better, but it gets big, and this one stays small, which makes it good if you want to put it in a mixed pot with something else, or if you have just a small pot and not a big area. But it smells really wonderful. But like any kind of basil that's culinary, you want to keep the flowers cut off because that makes it go to seed and it loses production, so it loses a lot of its flavor. So anytime you see your basil starting to flower, you need to cut those flowers the flowers off.
But
keep it going.
That is really one of the few herbs that you have to do that with.
That's true.
Like, you know, it doesn't cross over to all other herbs. It's just basil that you have to worry about.
So this is just sweet basil. This is actually Genova basil, which is a basil I really like to use.
I have to pull.
Yeah, Sharon's cleaning as we go. I didn't do that. I understand sweet basil is also very good for repelling mosquitoes. I've never tried it. I've always just done the lemon herbs, and they've worked really well. Now this is a plant that they call mosquito plant. And about, maybe 10 years ago, they came out with this and they did a huge marketing.
It was pretty amazing.
It was amazing.
Citrosa is what they called it.
Or citrosum, I've heard it called too.
Okay.
It's actually scented geranium. So the scented geraniums are grown not for their flowers, but for their scented foliage. And this smells really good. It's got a lemony fragrance. It does have a flower, a small pink flower, not real showy, but very, very cute. But it gets... But these are strong growing plants. They get like maybe 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide by the end of the year. Yeah, good size. And these are really great for repelling mosquitoes and flies. I understand from some of my customers. They've used them when they've had like a picnic and put these as table decorations in the middle of the table. And they said it works great to keep away any kind of flying bug.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this is not a winter hardy plant though. So you'll have to replant it or bring it in and try to protect it in the winter or in a greenhouse.
And we're back to our marigold.
That's right. We talked about marigolds before too. And these marigolds are also very good at repelling mosquitoes.
See, and I didn't even know that until today.
I know. I didn't either. So we looked that up. So marigolds are great flowers for our climate because they stand the heat and drought, and they'll bloom all summer long if you do what Sharon just did and take off the old flowers. Yeah, that's called deadheading. And a lot of plants, a lot of flowering plants, you need to do that. You need to cut off the old flowers to get it to continue to bloom. So that's a good habit to get into. And you can just shear it if you want. You know, you can just take scissors or head shears and just cut off the whole top, and then you'll have to wait a few weeks and it'll be blooming again for most of these things.
Cool.
I also wanted to talk about another way to repel mosquitoes is try to think about keeping them away, keeping their breeding areas.
Habitats.
Yeah, there you go. So I've noticed if I have a watering can on my front porch because that's what my cats like to use for a water dish. I clean their dish every day, put out new water, but they want to drink out of my watering can. So I always have it full, but about once a week I go out there and I pour it all out and I start new because I've noticed I will be breeding mosquitoes in my watering can. So keep an eye on that. If you have plants that are in saucers, which you shouldn't, that's a no-no, we think. We don't think you should have plants sitting in saucers because it collects water. So your roots stay too wet, and plants really don't like that.
Yeah.
So we just say
does
no
stay
saucers.
in your patio if you don't use saucers, but
I use pot feet. I raise my plants up on some kind of riser, and I use decorative pot feet because I like to look at that. But you can just use chunks of brick or flagstone or anything you have around, chunks of wood that raise it up, so air circulates underneath it, and that'll keep your patio from getting discolored. But so keep that sort of thing clear of water too. Make sure you take the water out of that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just walk around my yard every once in a while because things get put out there, and whatever it is, even if it collects just a tiny little bit of water, mosquitoes will breed out there, and that'll make them in your area.
That's why shady yards are always more mosquito-y because it'll collect just in a little leaf.
Yeah,
and that's all it takes.
That's right.
To get them going. So, anyway, we want you to be happy and peaceful and enjoy your patio and have some lovely things around you.
That's right, and fragrant things. It's really nice to have all these things around because especially when it starts heating up like today, the plants release their essential oils and you can smell them.
You can.
Just walking by, they smell good. So if you have a patio or if you have a porch, the best thing to do is keep these plants out where they're sunny, and then when you're out there, just bring them up onto the porch with you so that they get sun during the day, and then while you're out there, you can enjoy them, and then just take them back out so they get sun.
Makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Thanks for joining us.
thanks. Y'all have fun. Happy gardening.